This is Tom Dahl with the DTS Work From Home blog, and today I want to talk with you about energy suppliers and electricity bills. You should know that one of those, the energy supplier, can significantly affect your electricity bill. And one thing that a lot of people don't understand is nowadays you have a choice of who your energy supplier is. You're not stuck paying one utility service for your electricity or your natural gas. Now, this actually happened about 20 years ago when deregulation hit the scene. Interestingly enough, 20 years later, people still don't know that they have a choice, that they can choose their energy supplier. A lot of people do, some people don't. But a lot of times people move into an area, their home, their apartment, set up their business. They call the local utility, hey, I need electricity by such and such date. I'm moving in. Electricity, the utility comes up and hooks up your electricity, hooks up your natural gas, puts you on a plan, and you pay their rate. And you really don't think about it. You just move on. And with really not much thought about, well, maybe I should be looking at a different supplier. Maybe I could get a better rate. What happened back in the mid-1990s was that the utilities, both electricity and natural gas, were deregulated, those providers. Before that time, the utilities themselves, the ones who generated the electricity, those that generated the natural gas, they pretty much had a monopoly over their service area. So when I was a kid growing up in Texas, it was Houston Lighting and Power. Up in northern Illinois, it was Commonwealth Edison. I don't know the names of all the utilities around the country, but those are two that stand out to me. But at the end of the day, back in those days, you moved into an area, the utility hooked up your service, you paid the bill. Now, what happened in the mid-1990s were those utilities were deregulated, and what that meant was it really created an opportunity where companies that were not generators, they didn't generate electricity, they don't generate the natural gas, but they are able to go purchase bulk quantities of electricity or natural gas on the market at market rates. Say, for instance, I could go and purchase 400 megawatts of electricity and then turn around and come back and resell that electricity to businesses and to consumers to use in their homes for a profit. And the whole idea when deregulation was implemented was, in fact, that it would create competition, and that is exactly what happened. Now, I will tell you, it's been 20 years, and again, I didn't realize, there was deregulation, that I could choose my energy supplier until about 2008, probably 10 to 12 years after it occurred. And yet now today, 20 years later, there's a lot of people that still don't know. And we hope to change that. But at the end of the day, when you go to pick your energy supplier, you want to use some caution. Not all are created equal. Every energy supplier, they go and they purchase that energy, electricity or natural gas, they purchase it at market rates, and then they want to turn around and sell that for a profit. An energy supplier cannot resell their electricity for less than they paid for it. They want to make a profit, right, on the electricity or the natural gas that they purchased. The reason I tell you that is that should be a red flag when you look at a provider and they offer you a really low rate. It ought to be a red flag to say, how can you offer the electricity or natural gas at this price and make back your money? And there's a lot of things that go into determining rates for natural gas and electricity. Another thing is that there's no one energy supplier that can say, hey, I've got the lowest rates in the United States. I may have the lowest rates in one part of the country. My rates might be higher in another part of the country. My rates might be similar to others in other parts of the country, meaning you may pay one thing on the East Coast, pay another rate down south, pay other rates in the Midwest, pay other rates out, in the Rockies or on the West Coast. Again, there are a lot of things that go into determining that rate, and it can be population density, supply and demand, the time of the year that electricity or that is being generated or the natural gas is being provided. There are just all kinds of things that go into determining those rates. And so it just depends on what the price was when the company purchased the electricity or purchased the gas. Really limits them as far as on how much they can sell it. So when someone says, well, I've got a really low rate, I would question, how can you have such a low rate and still make a profit? And what you'll find is some companies charge monthly service fees, and there might be other hidden fees or charges that you're not aware of until you sign up with the organization. Then you see them on your bill, and now it's too late. You're already locked into a contract or into a term, You have to pay a cancellation fee to get out. I mean, the bottom line is every company, every energy supplier is going to get their money one way or the other. So when you are looking at an energy supplier, you just want to make sure you understand the fine print of what it is they are offering you, so you understand how much you're going to be paying. My own personal experience in 2008 was that, a guy walked up to the door, knocked on the door and said, "Hey, I'm with so-and-so company, and we want to be your energy supplier." And they offered me a great rate. I don't remember exactly what it was. It was somewhere in the area of 6 cents per kilowatt hour. And I'm like, "Hey, that's great. I'll do it. No problem." And at that point, after I signed up for their service, I just essentially forgot about it. And over time, I noticed my electricity bill was rising, getting higher. I kind of assumed, inflation probably had something to do with that. But I just really didn't pay attention to it. And then in 2016, I looked at my bill to see what rate I was actually paying per kilowatt hour. I was paying 11 cents per kilowatt hour. So this organization started me out at about 6 cents per kilowatt hour. And across, about 8 years, they bumped me up slowly to 11 cents per kilowatt hour. Now, it was my fault. I wasn't paying attention. But to me, I was treated in an unethical way. So just based on that principle alone, I would never go back to that company, no matter what rate they gave me. So my point is, there are companies out there that have those types of practices. You just need to be careful. That's all. Now, if you want to know what energy suppliers are available in your state, you need to go to the Public Utilities Commission website for your state. And generally speaking, your Public Utilities Commission, they will have a list of every energy supplier who is certified and or licensed to operate in your state. And then you can go to each supplier's website and you can see what rates are available to you on their website. And I've done that. It takes a lot of time. And if you want to get in and read all the terms and conditions and find out, where you may be getting gigged for a service fee or another charge, it takes even more time. But, due diligence and do your research. If that's what you want to do, that is something that's available to you. I will tell you that at the time I'm doing this video, only 21 states right now have actually fully implemented deregulation laws. So there are really only 21 states in the country where you can have full access to these energy suppliers. Now, if you're seeing this video, you likely got to it from my blog, and I'm only putting these blogs up in the states where we can actually provide energy. I am with ACN. I am an independent business owner, and one of the services we provide is energy supply. And so that's what I wanted to talk to you today about, and I'm going to show you how to see what rates we have to offer. But again, it's only in 21 states. But again, each state has your Public Utilities Commission. You go to their website. You get the list of the energy suppliers. They should have links to those suppliers' websites, and you can go and check and see whatever rates they have available to you at that time. So right now, at this time, what I want to do is open up my web browser. And again, I'm with a company called ACN. I'm an independent business owner. The name of my company is DTS Global. But I contract, or I'll say an independent contractor, if you will, with ACN. But my website is dtsglobal.acndirect.com. Again, hopefully I spelled that right, dtsglobal.acndirect.com. And when you hit that, that's going to take you to our online store. So I want to give it a minute, and it should be coming up here. Okay, here we are at the website. My name's Thomas Stahl. Here's my business ID with ACN. Again, I don't work for Zoom Energy. Zoom Energy is our electricity provider. Let me move this up here so I don't have a phone in my face. But this is my website. So the first thing you would do once you arrive here is you would want to pick the state you're in. And in this case, I'm going to go to the state of Texas. No, not because that's where I'm from. I just happen to pick Texas. And what I want to show you, because in Texas we only offer electricity. So if you look here, some things to notice is one right here, these are residential services. If you're a business owner, you scroll down, right? And here are our business services. And you may want to look at our security and automation. We can provide phones, merchant services for your business, etc. Okay, but these are our residential services. You'll note in Texas we only provide electricity. So we're going to go ahead and click on that link. And now here's where, if you're scrolling through here, you'll see Zoom Energy is our supplier. This is not a, there's no secret. Let me move this again because that kind of affected what my face looked like. Zoom Energy is our supplier. They're one of the largest energy suppliers in the United States, one of the fastest growing energy suppliers in the United States. They do supply electricity and natural gas, but that's who supplies our energy. Now you would want to go ahead and click this button, Shop Now. And that's going to open up a new page. And now it tells you you're looking at residential service plans, and it asks for your zip code. So one of the zip codes in Arlington, Texas is 76017. So we're going to go ahead and start this. And it's going to go ahead and upload the electrical rates for that part of Arlington. So here they are. Now it says this is Encore Electric. This is the company, this is the utility that does the transmission and distribution. Now what you need to understand is your transmission and distribution fees are going to stay the same. It doesn't matter who you use in any company. Whatever company you use, it's only going to impact the rate you pay per kilowatt hour. But your transmission and service, your transmission and delivery fees are all going to stay the same. And honestly, that's the biggest part of pretty much anyone, at least residential service plans. The largest part of the bill is the transmission and the delivery. What you actually pay for energy is really not that much, comparatively speaking. Now in this case, if we scroll down, you can see, hey, they've got, sorry I have to keep moving my face around. I guess I can just turn it off and get it out of here. But at any rate, they have variable rate plans, fixed rate, renewable energy, and what they call a prepay rate, which I am not interested in those at all. A variable rate is simply what it says. The rate changes from month to month. It's variable, and it can be really high or really low just depending upon the season, depending upon other things. If it's really cool summer, if it's a really warm winter, people aren't really using a lot of electricity, that rate could be really low. If it's really hot, really cold, rates go up. Some people believe by using a variable rate plan that they get the best deal. Yep, they get the prices when they're at their lowest, and yes, they get the prices when they're at their highest, but over time they believe that that rate averages out. In this case, this is a promotional rate, and I want to say that lasts about 3 months with Zoom, but you'd pay 3.9 cents per kilowatt hour. I believe it's for 3 months if you're a new customer with Zoom. And after 3 months, you'd go to whatever the variable rate plan, and then you would just start moving around. I personally don't use a variable rate plan. I like to stick with fixed rate plans. Now in this case, in Arlington, you can get 12 months, and this is eco-friendly, clean, renewable energies. This is solar or wind farm or something like that, for 4.9 cents per kilowatt hour for 12 months if you sign up. For 24 months, they offer 4.8 cents per kilowatt hour, and then you can actually get for 36 months 4.9 cents per kilowatt hour. Now those are really good rates for that area down in Arlington. I would tell you, and again, it depends on what city you're in, what state you're in. Sometimes we have plans that you can go 6 months, 4 months. Usually you see 12, 24 months, and 36 months as far as term limits. Now one thing people don't understand is what happens when their term limit ends. And this is where people start thinking, well, electrical companies, they just try to gouge you. When your term ends, if you signed up for this simple, clean 12-month plan, you would get this rate, 4.9 cents, for 12 months, 4.9 cents per kilowatt hour. At the end of that 12 months, if you didn't take any additional action, if you didn't take an action to contact the utility or your energy supplier and say, hey, I want to stay on this plan, or what actually they'll do is they'll make you choose another plan, whatever, because the rates may have changed by that time. But you would pick another plan, 12 months, 24 months, 36 months. But if you don't go before your term ends and pick another plan, when your term ends, you automatically switch over to a variable rate plan, and a lot of people don't realize that. They think they picked their plan one time, like I did in 2008, and never thought about it again until 2016. So you just want to understand that whatever plan, if you're already on a variable rate plan, it doesn't matter. That's just where you're going to stay. But if you're on a fixed rate plan, you do have to change it whenever your term ends. Now, one thing that we offer with ACN, right, is if you come with us through, and when you go through Zoom, is you'll get an email about 6 weeks prior to your term ending that says, hey, you need to go back and pick another plan. And if you don't, when your term ends, it is going to swap over to a variable rate plan, and you probably don't want that to happen. Now I want to back out of this, and now I'm going to go to the state of New York. Now, New York is interesting because when you look here, you'll notice we offer natural gas and electricity and solar in New York. Natural gas, electricity, and solar. And just as an example, I'll switch over here and go to Ohio. Where's Ohio? It's around here somewhere. Oh, I missed it. Here we go. If you look at the state of Ohio, it just says natural gas and electricity. Right? So whatever state you're in, when you click on your state, you're going to find out what's available in your state. We're going to look at, again, go back to New York. And we're going to look at, again, if your business services are right down here, electrical, residential services up at the top. And again, it's telling you, hey, you can have natural gas and electricity here. If you want to look at solar power, it's going to take you to a different location because in New York, their laws are a little bit different depending on what you're offering, whether it's just your typical electricity or solar power. So I'm going to go ahead and click here as far as just their typical electricity rate plans. And now we're back to a similar page you saw before. We're back on the Zoom site, and we're going to hit Shop Now. Now when I go to New York, if I'm just going to look at Syracuse, which is their zip code is 13217. This is one of the zip codes in Syracuse, New York. Now look, it's going to tell you, well, here's your electricity provider is National Grid, and National Grid also provides natural gas. So we can click over here to see what kind of rates are they getting in Syracuse, New York. I want to give that a moment. There it is. Give that a moment to load. Again, you have your variable rate plan, which see, it's a big difference, right? This is 36 months, a 36-month plan, but that doesn't mean you get 6.9 cents for 36 months. But you'll notice, in Texas, it was like 3.6 cents per kilowatt hour. In New York, it's 6.9 cents per kilowatt hour. Again, the differences in the cost of the electricity have a lot to do with the region, the personnel. I'm using all the wrong words. The population density was what I was looking for. Population density, where they get their electricity from. If you look at the fixed rate plans now, to me this is a decent rate, right? 12 months you get 6.4 cents for 12 months. You can get 6.7 cents for 12 months for the simple clean plan. But again, now you'll notice here they don't offer 24 months or 36 months. They can only offer you those rates up to 12 months at a time. Probably because the rates can change and fluctuate so greatly, and this is my guess. But the rates could change so quickly that each year they want to purchase electricity and then be able to offer whatever the current rate is. So the next one I want to go to, and again I don't want to waste your time, but just so you can see some of the differences, I'm going to go to Illinois. And let me see, it's just going slow. Here we go. Now again, this is kind of like Ohio. This is just no solar in Illinois, just natural gas and electricity. These are residential services. The website's going slow for some reason. I apologize. But looking at this, now I'm going to go ahead and shop for electricity. I'm going to put in a zip code near Chicago. And again, now here it is. Commonwealth Edison is the utility, electrical utility in around Chicago and northern Illinois. Nicor Gas provides natural gas, and this is more about electricity, but you could pick both. You could choose a natural gas provider. You could choose a new electricity provider. But here I'm going to go to the electricity rates for Illinois, and you'll notice now in Illinois, right now we can get a 6-month rate of 6.2 cents per kilowatt hour. But if you jump up to 12 months, now they want 7.1 cents per kilowatt hour. So this is about the same as New York. This is actually a little bit higher than New York, and obviously a lot higher than Texas. And they have the simple clean plan for, again, 7.4 cents per kilowatt hour. And you can get up to a 24-month term as far as picking your electrical rates. But these are the competitive rates in Illinois. Right now, the average cost of electricity in Illinois is 7.5 cents per kilowatt hour. So, in my case, I might pick the Sherlock 6, get the rate for 6.2 cents per kilowatt hour, and then 6 months, see what rates are out there, and possibly change again at that time. So that's just the way you can go through these through the store, the online store, and see what rates are available in your city. So I hope this has been informational for you. I hope you know and understand you can change your electricity provider. If you do want to go to our store, again, that's dtsglobal.acndirect.com, dtsglobal.acndirect.com. We would appreciate your business, whether you're a residential customer or a business customer. A couple thoughts to leave you with, some of the benefits of going with ACN. One is that with ACN you can get free electricity. Everybody goes, oh, can you really get free electricity? Yes, you can. Again, just to be fair and to be clear, this only impacts the rate you pay per kilowatt hour. The fees that you pay for transmission and distribution are not affected. So if you pay $60 a month and your electricity bill for transmission and distribution, you're still going to pay $60 a month. That is not going to change. But whatever your rate per kilowatt hour is, if you're in Texas paying 4 cents per kilowatt hour, or in Illinois paying 7.1 cents per kilowatt hour, if you refer 10 customers to Zoom, your rate will go to zero. And essentially what they do is your rate doesn't really go to zero. Whatever you're paying for your energy service, they refund that amount to you every month on like a debit card. Little black Visa debit cards come in the mail. Some of the people around here call it black gold. But that's how you would get that money back. But essentially your rate goes to zero. Free electricity just for referring 10 people. And that's really any consumer that goes with Zoom. Now another benefit as a independent business owner, which I am, if you ever thought about having a home business or an online business, I'm an independent business owner with Zoom, and as an independent business owner, I can make up to 10% commission on anyone that comes into our program. So anyone that I refer as a business owner, if you joined Zoom today, you sign up under Zoom, then as the individual that sponsored you, I would get a 10% commission, not on your whole bill, but 10% of whatever your energy supply was. So if you're paying $30 a month for your electricity supplies, I would get $3 a month in commission. So, but there just are some different opportunities with ACN that aren't available with other organizations. One, that you can get your electricity for free as a consumer, or that if you want to start as an independent business owner, you could possibly not only get your electricity for free, but everyone that you bring into the organization or that you bring to Zoom, that you could make up to 10% commission on their energy. So, and if you wanted to know more about that, just please get in touch with me. I've got contact information on the blog. If you're interested in starting a business at home, or you want to know more information about how you could possibly save money or make a little bit of extra money with ACN, please feel free to get in touch with me. But today I appreciate your time. I hope this has been some valuable information to you. And if you're looking for an energy supplier, I just encourage you to go back to our site, dtsglobal.acndirect.com, and see if we can set you up with some good rates. Thank you, and you have a great day.